You might have to change the.
Oh yeah, I gotta change the title. Huh?
Change the title. Okay. Let's get it. What up, what up, what up, everybody here in Fanbyte Land, Fanbyte World. We are rocking with Corner 3, the best basketball podcast on the gosh darn planet. If you don't know, now you know, which is a thing that
Hamilton.
They said in a rap song when I had sideburns. It was a long time ago, a very, very long time ago, but I'm
You
excited.
mean Hamilton? That was not that long ago.
I mean, like, I think there's a part of your existence when you are bald where you you stop determining between your hairline. Your
Sorry, you said
line.
when I'm what?
Bald. Bald. Like when people
Me?
go bald, you'll never go bald.
Are you talking to me?
None of you will go bald.
Bald?
No,
John, I don't think he's
bald.
talking about us.
No, I don't think he's talking
Bald?
about us. I think he's talking bald.
Bald
Basketball.
is
Basketball.
my favorite sport. I like to see them go up and down the court. Yes.
Yeah.
Balls, basketball. Where you stop determining whether you have sideburns or if it's just an extension of your beard. There's just the Mason Dixon of where your hair
it's just growing
changes.
up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is growing up. It's like life where you grow vertically. I am Khalif Adams. I am one of the hosts of the wonderful, magical Corner 3 show. And I'm rocking with the best in Nikki Grayson. How are you, Nikki?
Hello. I'm good. I'm out here, you know?
You out here?
I'm thriving. The word I would use to describe myself right now is thriving.
Word. I appreciate that. That's the thing a lot of people don't say out the gate.
A lot of people don't say this. Kaiser Permanente will say it to you, but not a lot of other people. And I'm out here, I'm telling you that I'm truly thriving.
I mean, that's a part of this social handle. KP Thrivel is exactly the way that actually works. I'm also rocking with the best in John Warren. How you doing, John?
Hi. I'm not thriving, but I'm just being honest about it. And also, I think Nikki's lying to you in the audience.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're negative thriving right now? You're not actually thriving?
Yeah, I'm taking energy from the Kaiser.
Yeah, I think we've had like a collectively very long week.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're getting longer.
Is that the summer solstice? Is that the winter?
Yeah.
The winter.
The summer solstice is happening this week.
Yeah.
We spring forward.
It's the return
for the summer solstice
of the Mac. We are here with the best basketball podcast on the planet. I have been on a interesting hiatus. Nikki and John have been just putting out ridiculously amazing content. I have been sitting in the back watching the shows, snickering and laughing at all the wonderful banter that has happened between you two while you thrive and unthrive.
We've been trying to hold it down, yeah.
You've been making it work. It's been fantastic. I love all the shows that we've been putting out. So basketball is the conversation that we would like to dig into again on this show, hence the reason its name is Corner 3. How have your basketball lives been in the past week? Because I have seen, and I guess this is the beauty of doing a show like this and then also being friends with you both and also follow you both on social media is that I get to also watch you both go through it in real time.
Yeah, in real time.
As a sports fan. And if I were to take the 10,000 foot view of your new basketball lives, Nikki wants to throw Molotov cocktails at the Staples Center. At the Staples Center, and John is kind of looking directly at Mark Cuban, as if he were
for a lot of reasons.
I mean, for multiple for
Yeah.
multiple reasons
Yeah.
in ways that were just like, man, if we could just make Mark Cuban disappear, we would just make him disappear.
Listen, Mark, if you need a break, I'm only 3.5 hours away. Okay.
That's an hour-long plane ride to me.
Yeah, it's an hour-long plane ride. XNA, it's not just the Xbox Indies platform; it's also the airport
Right.
that I fly out of. So
Anything is possible.
if you want to just fly me out, the Waltons fly out of here. It's real cheap. I can go to Dallas. I can take over for a little while. I cannot hire some gambling maniac and have a bunch of sex predators in the company. I'd also hire someone with fucking taste for the uniforms because
For the
holy fucking
uniforms,
shit.
just one person at least.
Yeah, I could figure out a way to trade Kristaps Porzingis, and it's just like, have you seen this guy? He's fucking tall. Trade him.
I mentioned this last year, but I do think that the NBA should start looking into opening the trade market up globally, like in soccer, and you should just be able to send Kristaps to Real Madrid in exchange for whatever 13-year-old they have starting at center.
I totally agree. Totally agree.
I just want Adam Silver to again be the person who gets to announce that for no reason. Like you pull him out of the extras, out of the extras closet for what we do in the shadows. Let him go hang out and go make all the conversation posts and all the announcements about what that is.
That's what I want.
Oh my God. Yeah. It feels like you're going through it in a real way, which leads directly right into one of our first stories of this week, which is all about our friends over in Mavs land, where they're showing at least one of their nice jerseys here.
Is this nice, or does it look like a high school, like fell off the back of a truck jersey?
Well, I mean, look, things that I care about when it comes to a jersey, if you're gonna, because there's like two frames of mind when I think about it.
Kyle, what do you look for?
Like, if you're gonna go sexy, kind of symmetrical, classic style, like I feel this would fit in kind of the more classic style. I don't have a picture of the city jerseys that they have right now, which have been proposed. You know, I may have to try to find one and throw it into the show. That looks like I don't know how to frame words around the terribleness of that jersey. I'm gonna look it up while I let
you can just
John
say trash. Like
but
sometimes
it's not
people,
trash. It's like worse than
people are bad at
trash.
design it, you know, and and then sometimes those people work at NBA teams and Nike.
There are like weird design perverts in Dallas that just do this for fun. They'll post like Mavs jerseys that they've come up with, and they'll just post them online. Mark could go online and just grab those and steal them.
Grab one.
Like you could just steal them, and they're pretty good. Like a lot of them I've seen, pretty good. The ones
Most
that
of them better.
they just released, they will pull it up, but they're white, but they've got these awful green stripes all the way down the side, and the squished logo in the middle is maybe the coup de grace, the piece de resistance. It just looks like it's being hugged by the worst two vertical bars you've ever seen. It's tiny, it's stupid, it looks awful.
I'm trying to find a good picture, and I'm on the Mavs site currently, and even the pictures that they took were bad.
They're hiding it.
They're hiding it.
Yeah, these are not the ones. These are not the ones that I remember.
Tim Hardaway's like, I'm gonna turn around. I don't want anyone to see this. The only thing I'll say about our statement jersey, which is that navy one, that I think the Mavs players themselves, it's the only one that they like because they wear them more than like I think almost any of the other ones. The white and the blue that you've come up with here, the royal blue,
yes.
They have this reverse cummerbund on the ass.
Yeah,
which makes
that part is silly.
Sense.
I just sent you the JPEG in Slack.
Did you? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I am thoroughly just like, what is happening when they do that? Let's see. Let me throw this up real fast. So this is the jersey here.
Oh, it's just trash.
Wow,
trash.
It's so bad.
It looks like a jersey. Like the white part looks like it's printed onto a green. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it looks like a jersey. is terrible.
It's
Why
one
is
of
the
the-
chime coloring not the same as the fucking other green?
Well, they can't because that's their brand. That's their brand green, which means you shouldn't have used that logo. Or maybe you need a new. I mean, look, you can't all be sponsored by Vistaprint and or Smoothie King. So like,
Yeah, that's true.
But like, is the chime brand so powerful that they can't color adjust it to match just the one time?
Just the one time.
I mean, does Mark Cuban have that kind of power? I don't think.
No, or money? Nah, I
No.
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I
that's
guess
not
not.
his realm for that. A thing that I did see you share, John, that I thought was actually really interesting in
Yeah.
the way you kind of talked about it was you were like, the teams that we should be beating, we're getting destroyed by, and we're just kind of like slimming by on the teams that, you know, we're like matched up fairly well with. I may be getting that reversed, but
No, you're right. We're squeaking by terrible teams and we're getting blown out by now if I told you right now that we're right now statistically the number 3 team in the Western Conference by record.
Yeah.
If you watched the Mavs games, you'd go, that's not true. That's not even remotely true. We got beat by the Denver Nuggets by, I believe it was 28 points. We got beat by the Atlanta Hawks by, I believe it was 25 points. We got beat by the Heat by 15 points. These are big deficits. We are sitting at number 3, 5-3, 5 wins, 3 losses. That's a 625 win percentage with a negative 5.3 point differential.
Whoa.
And that's bad.
That's bad. Because we beat the Spurs by 1. I think we beat the Rockets by like 4. These are basement teams. These are
But that's because
teams.
like you're missing your stars though, right? So it's like
Yeah,
this is
go ahead.
you have a first time coach. You're missing
is a
your
fun
stars. They're
You mean
injured.
Porzingis isn't playing well. This is what you mean missing your stars?
Porzingis is injured again.
Is he
So
hurt?
again, the narrative of like he's back, baby. I'm like, back where? In the weight room? It's like that's all he's doing. He's injured again. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to say I mean, like injury prone players are sad. I don't like it when players are sad.
Right.
What I don't like more is that when players are healthy and they suck. So when Kristaps Porzingis is playing, he's still bad. He's not the player that he was with the Knicks. Do you know why he looked fucking great on the Knicks? Because he was the best player on a terrible fucking Knicks team.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're not wrong.
That's it. He was the only one. He was a mid player on a bad team. And then we traded the farm to get this guy, and he sucks.
And it was interesting because the New York press at the time were hot. They were like, how could you give up such a prospect? And now
It's the only good thing James Dolan has done in the last decade.
You're absolutely
100%.
right. You're absolutely right about that. There's no doubt that
100%.
is not the case. That is absolutely true, actually. Nikki, you're gonna have some thoughts about kind of Mavs land and where they're at.
Yeah, I just think maybe they need like a new building or something to kind of exercise some of these demons. So I don't think anything good's happened in there, you know.
So, you know, fan of the show, Stephen A. Smith, talked about how
Stephen A. Smith, come on, corner 3, please.
I would figure out a way to make that happen. I would give up me and Nikki's check marks to get Stephen A. Smith on the show.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. What are we giving up?
Our check marks.
Sorry,
we don't
let me
need
rephrase
those.
that.
We-
What are
we-
you giving up?
I don't. Come on. Why do we need those? We don't need those. It's like Mavs jerseys at this
My
point.
clout
They're
score is
worthless.
so fucking high, dude. You don't even know.
You are loved by everyone. I love
Stephen
it.
A. Smith.
Tweet at him right now. Tell him
What
we're
is
talking
his,
about him
what
right
is his
now.
Twitter account?
Mouth.com. But
No, it's just it's
did-
Stefan.
just Stefan? Oh. He did say, and I agree with him, and it was a really interesting part of a upcoming show or a show that he did a little while ago, where he was like, of all the teams that have been able to pull in talent, Mavs have not been able to do any of that with a fairly good, because I think one of the conversations is always about like, if a star moves somewhere, they're like, well, what about taxes? I don't want to pay a whole bunch of taxes, so people like to go to
Right.
states where they don't want to have to pay a bunch of taxes. And they were
Right.
like, Dallas is pretty good on that end. They still haven't been able to pull a superstar to that in multiple
No.
seasons with multiple big names moving around in
No.
free agency. What is the deal with that at this point, John?
I've mentioned this on the show before, and I'm still kind of worried that it's going to get me in some sort of trouble. But like, I believe at some point in this organization there is some fairly strong systemic racism going on.
Mm.
I don't
What?
know where, and I know it's shocking, right? But
In
I
the
don't know where
NBA?
or how in the NBA. And the only reason I say that is because, like, name a prominent black free agent that has gone to the Mavs.
Mm.
DeAndre Jordan for 2 minutes.
No,
Manute
like
Bol
that doesn't count. And it
in
was
the
also
80s.
after a total false start. And also we traded him halfway through that season. That's the funniest part to me, is that we tried to move heaven and earth to get DeAndre Jordan, and when we finally did, we shipped him off 6 months into his tenure there.
Remember when they
Very
tried to
funny.
break into his house?
I do.
Oh yeah.
My thing is this, is that you've got 3 options. You've got San Antonio, you've got Houston, you've got Dallas. Now, I'm not a big
Mhm.
fan of San Antonio as a city. That's just me.
Wow.
I'm just not. I'm not like,
John
I haven't had a
hates
great
rivers.
time in
Yeah.
San Antonio.
God.
But there are a lot of like cultural elements of San Antonio that are interesting and well preserved, and like
The jerseys
it's-
are
it's-
better.
and the jerseys are better. And hey, Greg Popovich is an all-timer who is still a great coach even this late in his career. Houston is a more diverse town. It's got a better food scene than Dallas or San Antonio. It's closer to the water, if that's your thing. You can find mosquitoes in December. Not great, but it's like, but it's there if you're interested in mosquitoes. Dallas is kind of this weird, super white, boring place. And I don't know how appealing it is. And I don't know how much Mark Cuban makes it appealing to players to come play there. And I just feel like there's stuff going on that we don't know about yet. And some stuff we do know about, but they've tried to get rid of and sweep under the rug. But like, I don't see any sort of major recruitment of prominent black players coming in. Some of that is some bullshit respectability politics bullshit that like Mark Cuban adheres to. Like, he doesn't like when players speak their mind. And what he means is that he doesn't like it when black players speak their mind.
Mm.
And black players who speak their mind, you know what? I can name 10 of them that are way better than anybody else that the Mavericks have on the roster right now. And so you just have to get over that shit. And he's not, because he's a stubborn, stupid billionaire.
I mean, when you
Anyway.
were describing Dallas, I was like, in the back of my head, I was like, Portland has something to say about all of that. Anyway,
Sure. No, you're right. There are places that do that, but like the ownership of the Blazers, for whatever reason, have made it possible for Damian Lillard to thrive there. And that, I don't know what that is, but like that's something.
I think, and not to, I don't want to stay on that particular point for the rest of it because we have another racist to talk about. I think Portland has done a good job of having that hometown feel, and that hometown feel as a thing that people have attached themselves to. If you talk to old Portlanders who are here forever, they will say that there is the Portland that they remember as opposed to the Portland that is happening now. I don't know how much of that filters throughout the team, but I do think in terms of ownership and in terms of the way that organization thinks about, keeping their players home and having their star be one of the kind of most loyal stars in the league to that team and to that city in a way that Dallas just doesn't have. It's a very transient space in that way, I think.
Well, and we've also tried to make that. We've also tried to convince everybody. Thanks for tweeting. John says he thinks San Antonio sucks as a city. That's great. I'm going to be getting messages all day.
All day.
I think the other part is that I think Dallas is trying to make itself feel like a big market team.
Yeah.
And
It's Dallas, though.
like Dallas is a big market technically, but I think if you framed it more of a hometown feel, there might be some benefit to doing that, because like when you frame it as a big market city and you go there and you kind of see what there is and there's not much, you're like, okay. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah,
Luka's fucking out in like 2 years. So
yeah, like if he's smart, he's already, his agent is in his ear,
Yeah.
like, yo, it's time to dip. We gotta go.
Yeah.
I think perfect segue into our next story of the show. Robert Sarver of the Phoenix Suns, home.
He looks racist, right? Like
yeah, 100%.
Go ahead, Nikki.
He's the kind of pink that only a racist.
Yeah,
is, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like you're right.
There was so in doing the research for this story, I watched.
You found out what you found out about racism, pinkness.
I mean, there's. Can someone TM that, please? Can we snag that?
It's the new breast cancer awareness. It's racism pink.
If you are the color of a flamingo, you're probably racist. I mean, the interesting part was like that conversation about like looks racist. Every video or every picture of him that they showed in the ESPN video talking about the story made him definitely look like he was like the owner of Nextdoor. Like he definitely seemed like like he was the person who would absolutely call everyone on you about everything. On the point. Like he has the look right now of like someone is going through my garbage. Someone please call the police. Like it is literally the way you kind of figure it out.
Also, is my guy using a Motorola Razr, but like the new one?
Right?
Yeah. Looks like
they have a new Razr? I didn't know they had a new Razr.
Well, how old is this photo? This photo
Razr?
Might be new.
Yeah.
I mean,
this
the
photo might be
Razr, the most recent Razr came out 2 years ago.
Okay.
But like, what a fucking weird. Why is it bent? It's gotta be a Razr. Anyway, sorry.
Jump into this story because I think this is a very telling tale.
So right around right before the season started, the news was released that DeAndre Ayton, star center for the Phoenix Suns, and the Suns were not able to come to an agreement on a rookie extension, which is stupid, just dumb. Like I don't get it.
Dumb.
It's just an organizational mistake. Robert Sarver, historically an unbelievably cheap owner, and like a couple of days after that news broke, a rumor wormed its way out that ESPN was working on a story about Robert Sarver's racial and sexual transgressions while in charge of the Suns. That story came out yesterday. He's racist, is the gist of the story. My favorite little nugget in that ESPN story, which you should go read, is that when they were trying to recruit LaMarcus Aldridge in 2015,
This is nasty. I mean, this is nasty. I mean, it's funny, but I'm gonna
just hold on. I'm gonna grab it so I can read it verbatim because I don't want to misquote.
You don't want to miss a detail here.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay. LaMarcus. When the Suns, this article was written by Baxter Holmes over at the mothership. Wait, where did it go? Oh, okay. When the Suns were recruiting free agent LaMarcus Aldridge in the summer of 2015, the team knew that Aldridge had young children in Texas and that playing near them was appealing. During the recruitment, Sarver remarked to two basketball operations that the Suns needed to have local strippers impregnated by NBA players so that those players would then have children in the Phoenix area and feel obliged to be closer to them, giving the Suns a potential edge in free agency, the now former staffers said. So that's the flavor that this guy is.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It was funny because I skimmed through stories.
No,
and saw strippers, and I was like, "Oh, NBA strippers!" Like, yeah.
No.
didn't see that connection
He
happening.
somehow found a way worse.
He found it. He found the worst way to bring them into.
Now here's a question. There's nothing really to talk about here, because
well,
like what are you going to talk about?
I mean, Sarver also in that ESPN piece has basically said that Earl Watson, the coach of the Suns that made a lot of these claims, is just lying about them.
Yes.
So I mean, I think that's notable to say.
That part is
hey,
yes.
this former coach of the Suns, a black coach, by the way, is just lying about the owner of the Suns. Is kind of like
that
the
multiple people across multiple organizational changes, because that organization has gone through multiple groups of people over the course of the last decade or so. So that part is wild. The thing here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you think that Chris Paul is some sort of op?
Well, he's with the players.
But he blew up the Clippers ownership.
Blew up the Clippers.
He was there, and now he's on the Suns.
So he's like the Stokely Carmichael of the NBA.
Yeah, is CP3 does anybody have a team? Like, he needs to go to the Knicks before he retires, right?
Not right now. Leave the Knicks alone.
He needs to go to the Mavs.
Not
too.
now.
He needs to make a fucking
on his
tour,
way
to be
out.
honest.
Like,
he was going to do it. He could have did that like 6 years ago. 10 years ago, he needed to be in the
Yeah,
Knicks
now Kyle's like, no, don't
leave
go.
everything alone. Nobody touch nothing. Put your hands in your pockets. Leave it alone.
But this story is nuts. It's like it is. I think like there was something very specific about the Donald Sterling, the former owner of the Clippers. There was something about that story that like, it's not that I didn't take it seriously, but it was like, oh yeah, of course this dude is racist. Also, like, he was already like a household name in the city of Los Angeles because the largest fine that the United States government has ever given a person, singular, was given to Donald Sterling because he wouldn't let black people into his apartment buildings.
Correct.
So that part, like, that wasn't like, and also the Clippers were mid. Did I say that already? But the Clippers were mid.
I mean, that was the thing we all know.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously, exactly. Thank you. But the Suns were in the finals last year.
Yeah.
Here's the other layer to that, which I think, you talked about. What's the actual other story here? And I'm happy you kind of dug into the Chris Paul parts of that, right? Where the thing that I think of, and you nailed it, John, with the like, Chris was on the players, the player association board. He was the head of the players association. I don't know if he still is.
I think he just runs State Farm now.
But he does, especially with that dude from 2K. That layer of it, plus the layer of, like you said, the Earl Watson side of that conversation, plus which I think is the other layer to this, which is you have one of the most respected and kind of, hardworking, head down coach in Monty Williams that gets so much respect across the league for just being a person that players love to play for. How does this break up their locker room? Because I don't think that Booker is going to be the cat who's going to roll out and be like, with a black power fist and be like, yo, I'm sick of this shit. Like, I don't think that's Booker's role. But I do think that that's Chris Paul's role. Where Chris Paul, although he has been straddling those lines of like, is he an op? Is he not an op? Yeah. He feels like the person who would actually say a thing on that team besides DeAndre Ayton, who looked like he would actually punch Sarver in the face.
Yeah. I mean, Chris Paul already said, put your head down, let's play.
Oh.
Yeah.
But like, said that. But I don't know what else he's going to say.
What else can he do? Like, it's also, the NBA has to do the investigation before they can say anything. Their checks still get signed by this dude.
I mean,
so
is that a walk-outable offense, though? Like, is that a thing where the players stand together, lock arms, and say, we're not playing for this dude?
I mean, they could.
They could. I mean, that would be an amazing precedent. I'm not saying it would be I mean, I think whenever a major NFL or NBA or MLB owner is outed as like a massive racist, or and in the Chicago Blackhawks case, covering for a perpetrator of sexual assault, like I think it's totally appropriate to say we're not like, until heads roll, I ain't doing shit for this team. I think it's appropriate to do that. Do I think it's likely? No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will be really interesting to see how this all kind of plays itself out for the rest of the season. Because where are they at now in terms of their?
I mean, they're struggling.
It feels like it, right? It feels like they're not doing really well.
They're struggling. They're 4-3. I think they're still a better team than Memphis or Dallas, who are above them. But like, they are struggling.
Yeah. It feels like this season has been going on for a million years, though. I don't know what it is specifically, but like, it feels like it's been 3 months. Yes. Yeah. So like a lot of it's like, oh, are these teams fucking washed? Are they done?
They're done.
It's like,
right? No.
Yeah.
It's November.
No. Yeah.
It's November. Also on that same token, John, like, Chris Paul being the NBA, well, he's no longer on the board, but for a long time he was the president.
He was.
Right.
Who do you think is the president right now of the NBA
PA? You know what? I should know this, but I don't.
Avery Johnson. I want him to be it. I just want him to do it.
No, it's not.
Kyle Korver.
No, he's not in the league anymore, John.
I mean, are we sure? Is he not the 15th?
He's always in the
league.
Is
he not sitting at the 15th spot of like New Orleans now?
I still can't tell the difference between him and Wally Zerbiak, so it doesn't make a difference.
Sorry. That's really funny. Chipmunk on the Twitch. Just thank you, Twitch chat. I'm finally looking at Twitch chat. Says both of the Morris twins.
Oh, as co-presidents? No, it's CJ McCollum.
Oh, that's right.
Is the president.
Oh,
that's right.
Wow.
I forgot about that.
The VP. Harrison Barnes, the secretary / treasurer.
I don't want.
What is that
Barnes
job?
In charge of money?
Yeah, like what is that? Like what is that job?
I mean, Harrison Barnes is good at money. He's been securing the bag for not being a good player for like 10 years.
Yeah, he had he had one good playoffs run with
I want to take that back. I do think he's the Kings' leading scorer right now. But anyway,
is it? See,
I think he is. Yeah.
I mean, but low bar though, you know.
I mean, he's the third person in my rotation whenever I play NBA Jam. He's like the person I pick way after everybody else. I mean, look. I mean, you have Harrison Barnes and
Harrison Barnes. Ismac Biyombo is the vice president. No, but I was saying like we were talking about precedent, right?
Yeah.
Like crucially, when the Bucks didn't play that game in the bubble, they were very clear to be like, this is not a strike, because they didn't want to open that door for CBA purposes. Smart. And I can very easily see CP3 having had a similar conversation and being like, listen, like the ramifications of this, if we make this step now, will open way more doors that will fuck up more of our money than us waiting a bit and seeing how it goes. Because I feel like the NBA, Adam Silver, after watching him speak, I hadn't like looked at him talking a little bit until he was on Inside the NBA for the first game of the year, where Chuck asked him a question about like what the future of the league looked like, or Kenny asked him a question about the responsibility that he felt to make basketball a more global game. And then like 10 seconds into that answer, Adam Silver goes, I just think that Ben Simmons should be playing. And it's like,
it was wild.
That's a reasonable answer. I mean, if you're thinking about
that was his way of saying like we should ship him to London for no reason.
You know what? Actually, if you really want to dig into that quote, that's really a discussion about the global game and how North American players are really just worried about the 3-point shot. He's talking about Ben Simmons and the fundamentals of the game. It's not about shooting anymore.
They don't teach them right in Australia.
They don't teach them. We need more players from New Zealand. That's what
Ben
he's trying
Simmons
to
was
say.
born in the wrong era. He should have been playing with Dolph Shays and Paul Arizin, members of the 75 NBA team that you've never fucking heard of until this very moment.
Have you all talked about that? Did you all talk about that on that episode?
We did
Yeah,
talk
we
about that
talked
on
about
the
it the
first
first
episode.
week.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I was like, oh, these players that you picked
We
out of this thing.
immediately identified the two names that would come off. I already forgot them because nobody knows about them, but we replaced them with Dwight Howard and Vince Carter.
Yes, that would be the right choices. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It will be really. The thing I'm hoping to see though is that there is some kind of conversation that happens there more broadly about. Again, we've seen the WNBA jump into every boat and handle any issue that has come up in their league fairly well around any of these kind of periphery issues.
Yep.
And stuff within it, and clean house and figure out ways to move that stuff along. And the NBA has done a terrible job of harboring all of those kinds of folks for a long period of time.
I think this league specifically is like, they know,
Yeah.
right? Like the rest of the commission, like the commissioner knows, the rest of the ownership group, they know, and it's like they don't move until. I mean, all professional sports leagues are like this, right? Like this happened with the NWSL 2 months ago, when it was revealed that some of the coaching staff for the North Carolina Courage had been like sexually harassing players for a decade. And then overnight, the players had gotten the commissioner's assistant, that coach, and then another member of a coaching staff in Portland fired like overnight. And it's like, there's no incentive for them to make steps until someone shakes the bag or whatever.
Yeah.
Or shakes that tree. What kind of fucking bag?
I mean,
shake the bag. You gotta shake the bag to get them out.
It's the only
You
way to
gotta
make
just
shake
tip
and bake
the bag
correctly.
over, and you gotta shake it.
You gotta shake that bag.
Yeah.
Coming to you from a rapper. Very, very soon. Last story of this corner three is all about Nikki's Lakers.
No, I'm good. Anybody think so much?
You know what? Instead, you know what I would rather do? I'd rather talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Do you know how many
The
wins
best team
they
in
have?
the NBA?
You know how many wins they have?
How many?
2.
73?
They have 2
Oh.
wins.
2 wins.
Who are those wins against?
The Los Angeles Lakers.
The
Now,
Los
listen.
Angeles Lakers.
If you think about it,
Yes.
Yeah.
the Lakers are helping the rest of the league, right? Because the Thunder have too many picks right now. Right.
Thunder have too many.
So
picks,
we're
okay.
reverse. We're obscuring.
Reverse
We're
tanking?
fucking up. We're reverse tanking. We're fucking up their tank because these two wins are going to put them above Houston at the end of the season.
Now, I have a
below
crazy idea.
Houston.
What if
But
the
you know
league
what
got
I mean.
together and decided that they would throw every game that the Thunder have? So like
To make
the
them
Thunder
go
82
73-9.
and 0. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Thunder go completely undefeated the rest of the year. Everyone plays well. It's only giving up 2 or 3 losses, you know.
Yeah, it's not
For-
that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And then they get fucking swept in the first round. Thank you, Joe Montana.
Yeah, I
Send
think
these
this is
things
a
out the
great
door.
idea. They play the 8th seed, they get swept. Like I think it's a really good idea.
It seems like a pretty good idea to
Or
me.
they just gain enough confidence that they actually make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Oh shit!
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
No way.
Right?
No way. Because they're gonna just coast. Everyone they're gonna figure out how to put 3 guys on the floor.
Yeah.
Maybe opposing teams are gonna be like, we only have 4 guys ready to play today. Sorry.
Anyway, what's wrong with your team though, Nikki?
Yeah.
AD is made of glass, which everyone already knew. But like, my guy is on the floor for at least 3 minutes of every game that he plays. As soon as I turn, I also think I've cursed this team personally.
Yeah.
Every time I turn the game on, Anthony Davis gets hurt. Yesterday, I turned the game on, and I watched him jam his finger, spraining it immediately. He had to walk off the court, and then
Yeah, you got a boo-boo right away. Yeah.
and then they lost to the Thunder at home.
Yeah.
LeBron, however, out.
He is.
He's out.
So dated Davis, fuck off. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Oh,
This is the funniest thing anybody's ever said.
That's so great.
Derek Fisher did accidentally call Russell Westbrook on TV.
Did he? What?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't hear
Which, like,
that.
fuck Derek Fisher,
Someone
but
tweet
also
this at
that's
me.
really fucking funny.
Someone please
Oh
tweet
my
that at me,
God.
please, for the love of everything sacred. Tweet that at me, please.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know. I think everyone knows that, like, this team is not, LeBron doesn't play until Christmas.
Yeah.
So, like, I think what he did in this Rockets game that we're watching the highlights of right now is he was being like, hey, I do still in fact have it.
Right.
And I have it so well that I can decide to score 10 unanswered when I want to. So, like, for that reason, I am not concerned. I think this team defensively sucks. Just is not good. Because, like, the defensive... I can't believe... I can believe I'm going to say this.
You're going to say
the
it.
defensive intelligence and basketball IQ that you got from Alex Caruso coming off of the bench for this Lakers team was so important that replacing him with a dude that I think I weigh as much as and am as tall as in Austin Reeves, he's not going to give that to you.
Yeah.
So, like, and sure, like, Trevor Ariza out right now, literally just a 3-and-D guy.
Right.
Taylor Horton Tucker also out right now, kind of can shape up to be a Brandon Ingram style flexible player. And then if, like, the Lakers are like, you need to play better defense, he will learn how to play defense because he's 8 years old. I'm not concerned, right? But it is wild to watch this team play basketball now because it's like they are playing rec league games.
The thing that I'm like watching are a couple of things. One, it feels like you said, with who was it that you just talked about? Oh my God, my brain just
Alex Caruso?
Yes. It seems like you need a toughness guy. And there is no toughness guy on your team who is either not hurt or who has been traded.
And like Dwight Howard could be that, but that's not
that guy though.
Right, but like that's not the that's not the role he plays. Right? And Marcus Morris, which one did we have?
Yeah, you had Marcus Morris.
Was it Marcus? Marcus Morris, one of those guys.
Oh, you had Markieff.
Oh,
we have Markieff?
Markieff.
Yeah. Marcus
They
Morris.
both played in the building.
Yeah. No.
Anyway,
same player.
That guy, right?
Yeah.
He's one of those dudes.
Yeah.
And it's like that presence is not in the locker room.
No. It's a really wild well, here's the other part too, is like even just from a offensive perspective, right? Melo is doing Melo stuff, which feels good.
Yeah, sixth man of the year.
Melo's doing Melo stuff, which is actually really important for them right now to kind of sustain themselves.
He's the second leading scorer on the basketball team, Khalif.
I mean, that's
scary.
I mean,
That's
no, that sucks. That's terrible.
Three to the dome, baby.
Yeah, three to the fucking dome, except like not that much.
Yeah.
Please.
I mean, well, I'm not expecting him to also be the person down in the playoffs. Like, I feel like Melo is going to be the pot. You actually kind of need to get him warmed up now so that he's in rhythm for whenever that stuff is going to wind up happening. The biggest problem right now, besides injuries, still feels like it is Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
It feels like him not understanding what his role is going to be and also not being a facilitator, while Rondo is kind of not getting more minutes than he should. He should be getting more minutes, I would think.
I just don't understand why these I mean, I also think Frank Vogel is fucking around with rotations.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. I know why. Russ should come off the bench with the second unit.
Yes.
Rondo should start at point and then have AD at the 5 and then Kent Bazemore and LeBron James. That's your starting 5, and then Russell Westbrook comes off the bench.
You think Russ Westbrook would be cool with that?
No. That's what I'm saying. That's why they have not done this.
Yeah.
But if there was because the thing that happens so much with these current rotations is that sometimes it's Rondo, LeBron, and Russell Westbrook on the floor at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
So the ball might as well be in a fucking box of glue because it's not going anywhere. And it's like you very quickly and very easily move that ball around if Russell Westbrook only has to worry about distributing the ball to Dwight Howard or DeAndre Jordan and then the rest of the shooters on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. John,
and then
he's
and then he's the one that's driving into the lane, right? Because the lane is so fucking clogged all of the time when AD, Russ, and LeBron are on the floor at the same time that it's like, I don't know. Benching LeBron also would help this. Having LeBron come off the bench basically does the same thing. LeBron James might be more amenable to coming off of the bench at this point in his career.
He might be.
Oh, for sure.
He might be.
Sorry.
No. I think you're absolutely right with everything you just shared. I think it is going to be an ego play for Russ in that way. John, do you think that last point? Do you think that the ability, because Lakers basically have two pretty still fantastic starting lineups if you wanted to swap out people here and there.
Sure.
Do you think that Russ is going to figure out his game in enough time to feel like he's going to gel with a kind of ever-changing rotation because of these injuries and stuff like that?
I think they are going to basically brute force their way into a 6th seed. I don't think they're ever going to actually figure any of this shit out. They're just going to play we have 3 superstar players on this team somewhere, and it'll come out in the wash that they'll be a 10 games over 500 team at the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me. If they did all the smart shit with the rotations that Nikki just suggested, then I think they have a chance to be a 4 or 3 seed. I think they've got a real chance to get back into this and really be strong for the rest of the year. And also injuries, rotation playfulness and being flexible with players coming off the bench would actually help during injury time, which this team will absolutely face problems with. So no, I think what they'll do is they'll just keep going. They'll have Russ, LeBron, and AD in the starting lineup all the time. And it'll just be a war of attrition. At some point, they'll win enough games to get to that 6th seed. That's what I think. And I think they'll lose in the second round of the playoffs.
Wow, that's a big statement that they're going to lose in the second round of playoffs. That's a big statement.
I had him going to the conference finals on our first episode, but after watching him for a few weeks, I'm I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the thing we're going to wind up seeing is right after the All-Star break is going to be really telling for them, or leading up to the All-Star break, and then coming back out of what their record is going to be at that point, how the team chemistry feels like it's going to wind up being, and of course who's hurt. I think the who's hurt question is going to be huge for the Lakers moving down for the rest of the season.
I wish Alex Caruso still played for Los Angeles Lakers.
Isn't that wild to feel like that was the kind of pin that was holding
the
a lot of things
pin
together? Yeah, it's really interesting to see.
Fucking love that dude. I'm happy he got paid.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on a better team now.
Yeah. He's on a team that respects him now. That's what happens when they don't respect you.
So fucked up.
Oh, all right. We're out of here for this episode of quarter 3.
Success is pain,
Yeah, success is pain. I mean, I'm out there talking about Bing Bong every week now.
Bing motherfucking bong.
Bing Bong. Anyway, we'll talk about the Knicks at some point down in the rest of the season. Thank you everybody for rocking here, watching us live on twitch.tv/fanbyte. You can check out the rest of the show on all podcast platforms in audio form.
Nope.
No.
That's
YouTube.
We're just YouTube.
I'm a liar. So you can only check out the show on YouTube.
Why are you fucking lying?
Colleen is a liar. Anyway, we're getting up out of here. Much love to you all. Where can they find if they want to ask us questions about everything that you think about?
Discord. It's a great place to hang out. Fanbyte.com.
Yeah, fanbyte.casa. That's fanbyte.casa. You can also get there fanbyte.com.
Oh, fuck.
Discord. If you're boring.
Come on.
What?
I tried to type links into the chat.
Oh, did it not work?
No!
Oh,
Because I spelled it
Oh.
Kabjoobs.
okay.
That sounds like also a thing that Robert Silver would say. Anyway,
I have to go.
we're getting up out of here. Thank you so much for rocking and listening to Quarter 3. We'll see you all next week. Much love and
Goodbye.
peace.
Bye, all.
That's the wrong scene, Jesus.
It's the wrong scene.
Bye, y'all. Peace.
How's it going, gang?
Bye.